Hello, I would like to inform you that what you're about to listen to are the views and comments from the host and guests and only reflect their own views and not the community as a whole. I hope you enjoy the podcast, and Eddie, play that banter section.
So you excited about going to MCM without me?
Oh yeah, fantastic.
What?
Actually, like the best event of the year.
Fuck you. I hate you so much.
There's actually loads of really good photographers out there that are great at communication. And you know what I love? Hidden fees.
Don't give away the podcast, you stupid woman.
Oh, there he is. It's Food and Cosplay. He's sexist as fuck. Cancel him. Red flag.
Red flag. Red flag.
That's why your logo's red, isn't it? Because you're just a red flag.
Oh, 100%. Not for good luck, but yeah, it's just...
No.
Because it's just red flag. You know, oh my goodness me. Hello everybody, this is the Ed Talks About podcast, a podcast series talking about cosplay, Comic-Con and everything else. I like to believe this is UK's #1 cosplay podcast, so welcome aboard, thank you for listening and all that. This week we are talking about red flags in the cosplay community. Just talking about, we'll explain a little later. But anyway, joining us on the podcast is Beth. Yeah, Beth. No, my brain jumped from calling you Beth into what's her name, and I went, "Oh, what do you want to be preferred to be called?" Oh no, but yes, this is Beth then from What's Her Name Cosplay.
Oh, what a smooth transition! Hello. Hi. It's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute. I've been trying to get you back on the podcast,
No, I think it's like I want to. It's just the fact that I literally get one evening off a week that makes it difficult. It's like I have to fit any and all socialization or sleeping into like 24 hours.
What's that? Sleeping? What's that? Jeez.
It's when I just pass out because I'm fucking exhausted from working too much.
Look, I get 8 hours of sleep over 3 days, but still.
Proud of you.
Thank you. Sorry, that's one of those TikTok videos that I both saw and recreated myself. Oh man,
you're down with the kids.
No, don't say like that. Don't say like that. Oh god, no. What was I going to say? I have been trying to get you back on the podcast for certain topics. I thought, this would be great for Beth. Hey, Beth, are you free? No, I'm busy. Go away, leave me alone.
Oh my god, like who is this guy? Why is he in my DMs? That does sound mean, actually. So.
Oh yeah, because you're never mean, are you? No.
No, I'm a delight. How dare you? Actually, no. How did someone at work describe me the other day? They were like, "I'm mean enough to be able to get away with it." I think that's a compliment.
I mean, it is.
No, I'd like to clarify. I'm not outright rude to the people I work with. But if people are stupid and bad at their jobs, then I won't stop myself pulling a face at them. Like,
you're effectively saying...
That doesn't sound good, does it?
No, it doesn't. But he's actually saying, I'm a right bastard, but you'll like me for it.
I'm a bit of a bitch, but it's quite funny, apparently. So, you know what? I'll roll with it.
Oh, my brain just went, you gotta roll with it, you gotta take it, you gotta say it, you say what you have. Oh yeah, they're back now, aren't they?
Eddie's working in 4K HD today, guys. We've gone past ADHD. we're up into 4K.
I've always said my vision's 4K because it's widescreen. Not your European standard 4x3.
Listen, I take my glasses off and we're down to 144.
Oh, okay? Jesus. Oh, you got one of those glasses where you don't have a big TV, so you have to get one of those magnifying glass. Shield? No. But, that goes in front of the TV that makes it pretend to be bigger. Is that what you've got? Yeah.
Not that old. Give me like another 5 years.
Oh, I've been peddling that Chinese joke so badly.
God.
I've got 4K vision. None of your 4x3. And if no one understands that joke, that's on you. That's on you.
That's on us being uncultured.
Definitely, yeah. I it's really bad that I know so many useless facts and anyway.
Are they useless facts or are they fun facts?
Who wants to know about 16:9, 4:3 TV ratios, things like that? You know why? What you know? We watch
People
things
buying
in
a TV, I guess.
yeah. Oh, we watch things in pound. They watch in NTSC. What is the difference? I don't know. Something about frequency. You know, they run at 50 hertz, and we're at no, they're at 24 frames a second with 30 frames a second. Things like that.
Someone is bound to have that as a special interest and find that I find that fascinating.
You will. Oh God, I do feel like sometimes I have to. You know, when I encounter someone that I mean, it's rare that happens. That literally on my wavelength, and we can just nerd out shit like that. Anyway, we weren't here to talk about my potential ADHD, my potential nerdiness. Well, no, is it
The
potential?
nerdiness is confirmed. Let's be honest. You run a podcast about cosplayers.
Shh! Don't tell people about that. The podcast thing, not the other thing. Oh, I want to keep my podcast down low so no one listens to it.
I just want an excuse to shitpost into the void.
Why is Eddie screaming into the void? Oh, just let him be.
That's just how he communicates.
That's how he communicates. Oh man. I should say we're recording this 1 week before MCM London. And woo, why are you typing?
I'm not. I was drumming my fingers off the table for like a drum roll.
Oh, that sounded like you were just typing.
No, I'm on my phone doing this.
Yeah.
Well, the phone is on the table. I've just painted my nails.
Yeah. Are you ready? Are you good for MCM London?
I am actually. Like, all my sewing and stuff has been done for a couple of weeks, which is generally my goal these days. So I'm not rushing it. But also because we just went through. I mean, we're still in like a really busy period at work, which I knew was coming up. So I was like, I kind of want to be done before that. I have just changed my lineup, but it's because a new costume was ready. If I can be bothered, I'll paint a pair of boots for it, but it's not vital. I'm trying to let go of the perfectionism of it all.
Let it go.
It's funny because it's an Anna cosplay. And I feel that was probably unintentional on your part.
It was. I didn't know. I didn't even know. I think I saw a test cosplay for it and I retweeted it.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like try this, and because I will wear it to Birmingham as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I won't wear it for MCM this weekend. I was like, no, I'm gonna wear it. Yeah. I feel cool. I feel cool. I'm gonna wear it.
Down with the kids.
I'm down with the kids. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm kind of all finished. I've been making a fuckload of friendship bracelets to kind of give out at con or like trade with people. I'm hosting a Studio Ghibli meet on the Friday.
Back up. Friendship bracelets. Are you 14 or something?
No, I'm a Swiftie. It's worse. It's been actually fairly popular for the last like couple of years. I mean, because it's been like bracelets like this, like candy bracelets, I think they're called in like the rave scene, been really popular for years. And then with Taylor Swift and the Eras tour, people trade friendship bracelets at the event. But since that's kind of kicked off, people have kind of been doing it in dribs and drabs at conventions. So I did some for Musical Con last year and MCM, and then various cons I've gone to, I've taken like themed bracelets either to what's popular, so like a bunch of Barbie ones, or to what costumes like I'm wearing. So I've done a whole bunch of Ghibli ones because I'm hosting a meet on the Friday of MCM. I've done some Frozen ones. I've done some Animal Crossing ones because that was going to be my cosplay before I decided to do 2 Annas in a row. And then I've still got a fuckload of Taylor Swift ones because I made way too many. So just it's now kind of become a thing at con. I've noticed with some people to give out like little trinkets, like little bracelets or stickers or like I know little sweets or something, which is quite cute. So I don't completely like chicken out talking to people. my plan, especially for the Friday and the meet, is I've made like a mostly Howl's Moving Castle because I'm cosplaying Sophie Hatter, but I've made like a bunch from other Ghibli films that I can kind of give out at the meet, which I thought would be quite cute.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have stickers next time. I don't know.
I used to get business cards. Does that count?
Yeah, I mean, that used to be such a thing, and I got business cards done, and I want to say this was like the arse end of 2019. I got business cards done, and then we went into the pandemic, so that went well. And I got
pandemic. What's that?
And then I got some new ones done. like earlier this year with like more recent photos. And sometimes I've like given them out at events, but there a lot of the times photographers will still give me one, so then I can go look for the photos and then just comment and be like, "Ah, that's me," and they tag me.
That's cool. Yeah, no,
So
it's
that's
just
kind of where we're at. But
I
yeah,
don't know. I just think look, I'm losing money on my. Look, I'm not saying anyone's making. Well,
I'm losing
technically,
money.
technically, no one should be making money at Comic Con, but I feel like I lose out more money than anyone else. I just, what was it? People have heard this story. Like one of my lights went in the water, and it wasn't even my fault. So I
Oh God,
immediately,
did it?
yeah, I'll explain later. I'll write that down so I can tell you the story.
Is that photographer red flag? He just drops his equipment in the Thames.
Yeah. Oh no, this was at Centre Parks in Amsterdam at VeeamCon.
Oh, Vinecon, yeah.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, yeah. So that week, I just happens to go on to the Chinese brand Newer,
Hmm.
and they had a sale on. And I went, oh my god, these are like the lights that I have. They're not the exact same, but they perform similarly. What? How bad can they be? So I bought a set, and yeah, they're half as good. I
Oh dear.
I generally don't like them. No, not a set. I haven't used them properly. I haven't used them in any photography setting. So from just basic testing, I've gone, I hate them so much. So I think I've said this story, but I might end up buying the replacements light for it. I usually ask at this junction, how are you? How's the last 7 days for you? But sounds like you've been pretty breezy, pretty good.
Yeah, it's been okay. Like work's been really busy. I work in a theatre on a musical, and we've just gone through cast change. So we've now reopened. We've opened with a new cast, but we've got so many rehearsals will go up to Christmas, probably stop for Christmas, and then carry on in January. So it's busy, but it's good. I'm lucky. I work with like really good people in my department, and my manager's very much also on my wavelength, and also a cosplayer. So it's long days, but it's at least with people I can tolerate.
Yeah. Shall I mention this fact about Les Mis? My opinion of Les Mis?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't like it.
I mean, that's fair, because to be honest, before I worked there, I had only seen it once, and I think it was like early 2016. And it was just kind of tick it off the list, a bit like Phantom.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I've seen this. It's, one of the old big name musicals. I've seen it. I was very much like, yeah, okay, that's done. Like I've seen the film, I've seen the musical, not too bothered. And I'd said for years, I was like, oh, I don't think I could work there. It's too miserable to listen to all the time. Yeah, but to be fair, when I'm working it, I'm not watching the whole thing.
No.
Like it's noise in the background. I know the show, it's noise in the background, but like if I'm in the wings, I'm not watching it. Even if I'm up on follow spots, I'm only seeing the scenes that I'm lighting.
Yeah.
And on the lighting desk, it's just like on a screen and kind of through my headset. So even then, I'm mostly watching the desk rather than like sitting down and watching the show like an audience member would be. So it's actually fine so far. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I normally end up doing like a couple of years on a show before I get bored and move on. But
yeah, no, I was just going to say that I found it a little boring. Well, not boring. I just found.
I mean, it's a very kind of dark, dingy, depressing show. Whereas if you compare it to something like Phantom, which is a lot brighter and more opulent, and there's a lot more going on.
Yeah. But I just find it just a lot of because it's all in song. My brain can't like process what's really going on, because I'm either listening to the music or listening to the lyrics or watching the acting. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like I can't.
Yeah, no, that's fair, because I mean the amount of audience members I've heard in the interval that are like, "So what's going on?" And I have the same happened at Hamilton, because Hamilton is entirely sung through and obviously rapped.
Oh, is
a lot
it?
of it?
Oh
yeah.
God, no.
So a lot of people were just there like, I don't think especially for Brits who aren't as don't know American history, were very like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, what is this? So
I know.
it's fine. It happens with like sung through musicals.
Yeah. Well, maybe one of these days, this country called America, where this Hamilton is based on, that they might become a big nation one of these days. But anyway,
maybe they'll make America real one of these days. Because
they might make America great one of these days.
Oh my gosh! Every time I see the news coming out of America with literally anything, I'm like, this is all like the Truman Show, right? This is all just a social experiment. Like, this isn't a real country that treats its people like that.
And yeah,
Like, the
no,
UK's not far behind it at this
not
point,
yeah. It's
but
like I don't know. I was just saying how I feel. So we will talk about cosplay in a minute.
poor Eddie's got to trim all this shit out later.
Yeah. No, I genuinely feel like at the moment we're seeing people thinking, "Hey, that person's a bastard," and they're getting no, not redemption, consequences, repercussions, consequences out of that. God,
Yeah.
if I did the same thing, I wonder if I get away with it. And it seems like every other nation
Yeah.
who have got egos are just going out and going, all men, I have to admittedly say, but still. Anyway.
Well, I have to say that I think
Yeah.
the president of Italy, prime minister of Italy, because their fascist party's in charge, they've just banned surrogacy for gay couples to stop them having children. So it's going well all over the fucking world.
They can't reproduce what?
But it's like
not genetic. You can't pass it.
No, but I mean, like, it's to say, like, oh, gay couples shouldn't have children. So they can't normally have like a surrogate parent and do that.
I understand. No, I understand what the thinking is. It's
yeah.
Like, if we have less gay couples teaching the younger generation what gayness is, this will be eradicated. Like,
I think it's also like it's pushing the narrative that like gay couples are like predators, and it's like, no, that's the Catholic Church. You're getting a little bit confused here. Maybe priests shouldn't adopt children.
They don't adopt them. They're just. Well, now that we just bleeped that little section out, so let's move on. And no one's gonna know except for you and me.
Oh, that's suspicious, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I know. So I basically right. So cards on the table. Me and Bethan were meant to actually do something today, but we looked outside and went, ugh, the weather looks shit.
Yeah, the weather is awful. It's high winds, it's raining, and we did not want to be outside in it. So we're doing this from the comfort of our own homes.
Damn straight. And I said, should we do a podcast? And I gave her like a list of ideas that came to my head. Then she came up with this idea of red flags. I went, ooh, I want to do red flags. I love red flags.
We love it. We love a good red flag.
I love a good red flag. I like the China flag, the Canadian flag. No, I know it's got a bit of white in it, but still. What? We're talking about those red flags, right?
Oh, I thought it was like the big fuck off red flags that we've got at work. Like for neighbours.
Oh, I got cut the podcast. Right, we're out. It'll stop the podcast. Stop it here. All right, cut it, guys. Cut it. Like I've got an editing team here.
You wish. That would make your life so much easier.
It would so honest. I wish I had like a team I could pay, or at least they go, can I intern? Can I do this for you, Mr. Eddie? Yes. I can't pay. That's okay. I just need the experience and exposure. We don't do exposure here. Whoa, not like that. So yeah. Red flag. Oh yeah. How apt. Anyway, I mean, why did you come up with this idea for red flags?
I thought as we're approaching Comic-Con and kind of like the autumn-winter convention season here in the UK, and there's a lot of new people to the hobby in general coming through from, oh, for fuck's sake, I just dropped a bead, coming through from like, the pandemic or whatever. Yes, I'm making friendship bracelets while we're talking. I've got to do something. I can't just sit and talk.
I know. I love that you're trying to be so like professional, trying to be sincere. Loser. Oh fuck! I dropped the beard. A bead.
Didn't drop my beard. I need to shave that off later. Yeah, as we're coming into the convention season, I think it'd be interesting to talk about, especially for newbies, what to look out for. If you're a cosplayer that wants to shoot with photographers at events, or even if you're a new photographer looking for cosplayers to work with, kind of what to avoid, what's really probably going to cause you problems later down the line, type of thing, and also give you a heads up as to what people are not allowed to get away with, but try to through loopholes. Yeah, because I have a fucking oh my god, not another one. I'm
gonna let just concentrate on the beads for a second, And
no,
like
where did that go? Okay, got it.
your sanity. No, I was going to
no,
say
fuck, that's fucking gone years
that's
ago.
gone
mate.
years ago. Now I was going to say there's a lot of things we might say that have been said in previous podcasts, but at least we can consolidate. We're consolidating all these podcast ideas into one manageable podcast you can listen to.
But yeah, I just thought it'd be a fun one. Can have a little bit of a chat, get out our podiums, get out our little soapboxes.
I love that you think this is going to be fun, but again, all the red flags in the sky.
Hey, I like slacking people off. I don't know about you.
No.
I told you, I'm fun. I'm rude enough to get away with it. That's what my colleague said the other day.
Me? No, I don't like to slag other people off. I'm a professional, neutral Switzerland type of photographer in the Comic-Con industry. I have not said a bad word behind anyone's back, especially you, Bethan. To be fair, I do it in your face, so
yeah. That's right. Like we at least do it to each other's faces.
Yeah. So anyway, so I think we're going to do it from Bethan as a cosplayer talking about photographers, and I might chip in with either my thoughts or whatever, and then I'll do the reverse. So I'll talk about cosplayers and things like that, and Bethan will chip in if she wants to. I mean,
oh yeah, you know me. I've always got an opinion. Oh dear.
Oh gee, Lord. Anyway, do you want to go first then, and I'll chip in.
Sure. Let me look at my list. I'm gonna say like I think one of my first red flags. Should we go from like finding a We'll go from finding a photographer to work with.
Yeah, go for
through
it.
to shooting at an event. Let's try and put this.
Let's try that.
Order.
Yeah.
Let's try to act professional. So my first red flag, if I'm looking for a photographer to work with, and I'm, maybe they've come up on like I still use Instagram. I'm not a TikTok kind of girly. So if they come up on my Instagram and I have a look at them, I think my first red flag is if it's a male photographer that shoots exclusively scantily clad women. And I'm not talking as in like someone who specializes in like fetish or boudoir photography. I'm talking like they purely just shoot cosplayers in very little clothing. To me, that's a bit of a red flag. I'm like, do you want to work with cosplayers or are you just want to shoot boobies?
I mean, is that a question directly to me or just to...
you don't need to answer that, Eddie. But to me, that's kind of especially if they're like, yeah, taking bookings for this event, and you look and it's like, if you're not working with a diverse range of cosplayers, even if it's like you look and it's like, okay, this is all skinny white girls. Where's your diversity? Where's your range? Show me you can photograph something other than like the one body type and the one skin tone. If there is no diversity to that portfolio, red flag. Do not do it. That's like a big no from me.
No, I can see where you're coming from, and
I don't agree because I just want to shoot people with their tits out. Is what Eddie's saying.
Yeah, I don't understand when I get my tits out. People get really offended by it. I don't get my tits out or a tit out.
I think I have a photo of you with your shirt off.
No. Does not exist. Erased from memory.
For a one-off donation.
Yeah, no. I can't. The thing is, I've always said this. I said, I don't remember everything I do, and yet when people tell me things like this, I'm like, I don't have a memory of this, but it does sound like me. So, yeah.
It's like when you had no memory of referring to yourself as Jigglypuff at the last MCM Birmingham I went to.
No, that now I I think I've pieced together the memory of that, and I'm like, why did I do that?
But at least you said it to someone you've been friends with for years who's absolutely not going to use it to roast you for it for the next 4 years.
Yeah, instead I told you instead.
Yeah, exactly. Unlucky.
No, absolutely. I see your point of view about, especially, okay, let's spin it on its head a little bit rather than saying exclusively shoots with like tits hanging out. I think if you look at a photographer's work and say, what do I want? Who do I want to represent me? And if my work appears on their feed, would I be happy? And
Would you feel happy with that photographer having his name attached to your image?
exactly, either on their feed or on your feed, because I purposely went out my way to make sure that my feed is as diverse as possible. It's not just all women, there are some men. People may say, oh, why don't you shoot with more men? It's like, the community isn't 50-50. It's not...
Also, like I think you're one of the fairest photographers I know, in terms of like, you'll shoot with anyone and you don't say, like, there's very little media that you turn around and say like, oh, I'm not going to shoot. I think the only thing I've known you to kind of shut down on in your last few years is like groups, which I think is completely fine, because shooting with groups is a fucking challenge and a half.
Oh, it's
and there's also a guarantee that at some point in that convention that group will fall out, and then they won't
Oh my god!
then they won't post the photos because it has someone in it that they've fallen out with.
I was looking. I was thinking, oh, Halloween's coming up. Maybe I should post up some Halloween photos. Is it next week or the week after?
Yeah.
Anyway, and I look, and I just so happens to come across an old Hocus Pocus group, and I might put this up. Oh, one of them's been blacklisted from the community. Damn it! So yeah,
just cosplayer things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
like
no.
you take bookings from everybody, and
yeah.
I think like it'd be great if, I mean, I understand why photographers don't, if they're not inspired to work with that media, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
But I think it's great that you do
Thank you.
do that, and you've also been on the scene for, I mean, I've been working with you for nearly 10 years, and in that time I've seen loads of other photographers kind of come and go. So
oh god, that's
it shows that what you do works.
That's such a sad fact that I've known you for 10 years. Oh god.
I think it was like London's Super Comic Con 2015.
Your Ace cosplay. Yeah. For some reason, I remember that as your first cosplay. I can't remember why, but yeah. What was I going to say? No. Yes. No. I. No. Sorry. I will get words out.
Eddie's just like beatboxing down the mic.
Yeah. Look, I think also it does. Like I said, you got to know the name that you're going to be attached to and things like that. But also, if you want to appear on their feed where other women are tits at and all that, I mean, if that's what you want, go for it. I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's also because I shot with a photographer that same weekend that I first shot with you at Super Comic Con.
Yeah.
And I really liked his photography style. I mean, I was very new to working with Togs because I'd literally booked like you, Tom, like Gallagher Photos, and this other guy that same weekend. And I shot with him my 7th Doctor cosplay. And I never ever saw those images, never got them back. He was also quite rude during the shoot. And I looked at all the images he does return to people, and it is sexier cosplays. And it's like, I kind of was there like, well, if you didn't want to shoot this,
then why'd you say yes?
Why did you say yes? Because I wouldn't have been offended if I was like, hey, I have this costume, because he shot a lot of sci-fi stuff. Yeah. If he then turned around and be like, it's not really my thing, but thanks, I'd have been like, cool, mate, no worries, Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think in the early days, I think there was a movement of like, oh, you said no, people get oh, it's about
people
me.
People are always going to get offended over absolutely nothing in this community. So.
No, yeah, I know, I get that. Yeah, so I mean, there's always Charlotte Walsh always says, check the photographer's work, check what they've got. And like I said, I think...
Check their style aligns with your costume.
Oh my God, yes.
Because there's some people I won't shoot princesses with, because I do a lot of princess cosplays, but I will shoot my Marvel superheroes with, because that's what their style is suited to.
It's like if someone says, oh, can you add these VFX and all this and change the background, I'm going like, am I... No,
that's because there's some photographers out there that are very specific. Is it composite? Is that the right word?
Composite photos. Yeah,
they're very specifically composite photographers. So you know you're getting you know who you're going to work with when you do that. But I wouldn't then expect you to do something like that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So I think that's a really good one to just say. Look at their style, look at their work,
and a portfolio that isn't diverse.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of it's a red flag for me, besties.
Absolutely, and it goes both ways. Photographers should look at cosplayers' work and go, "Is this something that I should look at their work?" And like, "Oh, I like this costume. Oh, they do this."
Am I interested in what they do?
Exactly, and it's not just about their style, but there's also characters they do, because sometimes deep down I look at has-been hotel cosplayers and I'm like going, oh, do I want that on my feed or something like that?
Don't get me started.
Exactly. And it's a personal
I can't
judgment.
believe I've lived through 2 generations of essentially Homestuck. It's a fucking great body paint for me, bestie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the cat got in. Teddy, you snuck in, you little fucker. Excuse me.
Whilst Bethan's dealing with that,
Teddy.
I will.
Oh, you monkey. It's because
I can hear him in my head still.
it's because my other half just dropped in my lunch, but the doors just swung open, and the cat is very good at opening doors. Tedward.
Anyway, so whilst while
I wrestle the cat, Teddy.
Yes, I will do my one.
I don't want to scruff you, sweetheart. You know what? Shall I just mute my microphone?
I was going to say, can you mute?
Yeah.
Let me do it for you. Right. Okay, there we go. So she's muted for a second. So just unmute yourself when you're ready. So one I was going to say for me is a red flag is, and I'm sure this again goes for both ways, is when I message a cosplayer, it's the communicational, both in time and reliability and things like that. So recently, when I do as people know, I do a booking system at MCM London. It's the only one I really do a booking system. Where most other events I don't. I hate to use the phrase "come and find me," but when I do a booking at MCM London, when people book me and I message back saying, "Okay, yep, it's all confirmed. Here's your time and date. This is the cosplay," and I do it I tend to do a reminder about a week or 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
And I've had people where they've not responded. They've just left it unread. I'm going, all right, I know people are busy. I know it's probably they're con crunching. They shouldn't be con crunching, but hey ho, and things like that. So I'll just maybe let it slide. I might give them one more, just hear this, just say, hey, what's going
give
on?
them like a reminder.
But no, it's just But recently there was one who just never turned up for their slot, and I just think that's
the time. Like, even because I've had times with you where I've gone like, hey, I have to change. I'm changing my costume, giving you a heads up. Are you still happy to shoot this? Yeah. Like on the day as well.
The day,
I've done that.
Exactly.
I've done that because I live near the XL.
Yeah, and also you may be tired. The costume may be falling apart. Things like that. And these are it's unfortunate, but they're expected.
It's unfortunate it happens. But God, so many people are bad at communication these days. I have to agree with you because. But there's been times I've tried to arrange shoots with Togs, and they've just not replied, or they've started replying, and we've had a conversation, and we've kind of gone, okay, I'll look for locations, or okay, I'll let you know when I'm free.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing, and I'm like, cool. And then you see them later, oh my god, people book me for shoots. Here's my rates, and I'm like, well, I tried.
Yeah,
but also just tell me if you don't want to shoot what I'm offering.
Exactly,
just communication,
just communication, and it really bothers me because I have a fixed number of slots. It's not that I try not to shoehorn too many people in between slots or when it eats into my lunchtime or after the event is closed, things like that. You can grab me and I can take a quick pictures here and there, but I try not to do that too often. And because I have a limited...
I even feel bad doing that for you, because I mean, I think it used to be you would shoot. I could book a shoot every day with you at MCM, for example, and now you're like, hey, I want to diversify and choose who I work with, which is completely understandable, because it's better than just shooting the same people all the time. Because otherwise, with me, you could end up with saying fucking 3 Disney princess across the weekend.
And I see your face all the time.
Even then, I feel bad grabbing you on the day and being exactly. I know you're really busy and you've given yourself all these slots, but can you do some extra work in between? I feel bad about that.
No, it's all right. If I, if I say no, you know why. Yeah. Because you're an absolute horrible person. No.
Because I'm annoying.
Yeah. No, but like I said, because I got such a limited number, for me, you've taken away that slot for someone else who could have had that time and experience with me, because not everyone wants to ask a photographer there and then. They want to maybe prepare themselves, have time to know what they want to do, feel like they're getting a professional shoot at something. All right, it's Comic-Con, really get a professional shoot per se, but I try to give a certain experience when people shoot with me.
Yeah.
And this one person who just did
I
not turn
also
up.
I also really like that you research poses, because the amount of
Oh,
times I've
God,
turned
yes.
up with, and I'll have like an idea of poses,
Mm.
but I might not be posing myself in the best way, or I've forgotten one, and the fact that you're always there with a sheet, like, yeah, we can do this, 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 and I was thinking of this, this, and this. Fantastic. 'Cause the amount of talks I've turned up with that are like, oh, I don't know, what do you want to do?
Oh, that's so
Help
annoying.
me.
That is
Help me.
so annoying. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, like I said, I just, it just shows me that you don't care for my time. You don't respect me. You don't
Yeah.
respect what I do for what I do. And, all right, as I said, not everyone does bookings and all that, but
Not all cosplayers. Not all photographers.
but like I said, if you don't communicate by saying, I have this, I'm doing this,
Yeah.
plans have changed, things like that, it really does stick in the mind of photographers to go, oh, okay, then you didn't want to like tell me, okay, all right, cool, like, yeah, I was going to say something, but it's not relevant. But you jump in.
Yeah, it's just respect all round, because if a cosplayer is trying to approach you for a shoot, it means like they like you, they like your work, and they potentially want to invest like actual money into you. And then if my train of thoughts just derailed because Teddy is screaming outside of my door. Yeah, it's respect, because it's like, cosplayers put so much effort into their costumes, photographers put so much effort into their craft and their editing. So just like, if they're willing to do that for you and work together, then it's kind of a no-brainer to me to like be able to communicate properly. And like we've all got, maybe we have a health problem that weekend, or on the run up to it, or your mental health's in the toilet. Like, we all completely get that. We're all so understanding, because I always say, like, I will always be completely understanding of people having like an issue like that, or some sort of problem. But they do not then communicate at all, like at all, and especially if it's someone trying to run it as a business, I'm like, yeah, you need to work on that, mate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for this example, a real life example I'm using, they still haven't followed up by saying, "I'm so sorry, I didn't turn up. Here's the reason for that," and I might actually take that in consideration. All right, I'll give you one more try.
Yeah.
The fact that they've not.
If they'd messaged you and be like, oh my god, so sorry, like,
My phone got stolen or something like that.
My phone got stolen, I wasn't feeling very well, I had a family emergency, like, everyone is completely understandable.
Yeah, but
like, everyone's really understanding to each other, but it's still like, no, you're taking the piss.
Yeah. So I've just these things, they do matter to people. So
yeah.
Anyway, I've done my one red flag for cosplayers. Did you want to jump in?
I'm just saying that I agree with you on that one.
Oh, no, I meant, do you want to do another one?
For another thing. Fuck yeah, let's go. For another one for me, what am I going to go with? Because we've covered poor communication, because that is a real bugbear of mine. How do I really want to get my soapbox out? Do I want to do this? Fuck it, we ball. Sneakily charging, like hidden costs, because at all UK events, photographers are not allowed to charge, and especially massive events like MCM London. There are rules in place about shooting. If a photographer wants to set up a shoot, you've actually got to apply for, like, to charge to shoot, rather. You've got to apply for some sort of, like, license, like, stall type of area, I think. I can't remember exactly. And as it was for years, photo shoots were free at MCM. Photographers wouldn't charge. The models wouldn't charge. And since the pandemic, since consoles, and especially in the last couple of years, I've noticed people getting a little sneaky with it. And some people will say, okay, you'll have this shoot and X amount of photos are free. So you might get 3, 4, 5 photos free. And for any additional photos, there's like a charge. Or what I've seen some togs do, which is, I think is fine, is send me a Ko-fi donation of £5 and I'll prioritise your photos so you'll get them quicker after con. Fine. But what I've seen lately is people doing, you'll get 1 free photo, and the rest, per £5 donation, you get 1 more photo. And I think that's just kind of shitty for an event that's meant to be free for everyone involved in terms of that. Or what I see them doing is they will try to charge for photo shoots, and they'll say because it's outside of the MCM boundaries, it's fine. And it's like, no, you're still at the XL. There will still be people, and they'll still be at the XL. So you're not even paying for like a nice photo shoot and a beautiful. I said that's so harsh on the XL. You can get some really nice photos on location there, but it's not even like, you know, you're at a studio or you're like out in the fucking wilds or like a castle ruin or something. You're still at MCM. You're still at the XL Centre. But to say because you've gone beyond like the barriers, you're then charging people.
Yeah.
Shady as fuck. Also, there's one I've seen. There's a photographer that will run a competition before every single MCM that says win a photo shoot with me, and then every person that shares it to their stories gets a DM saying, "Oh, you can also pay for a shoot, and I'll shoot you there." I think that's fucking shady. I'm sorry. Like,
from what I was going to say,
it's really grinding my fucking gears, because I've been trying to work with more photographers this year, and especially because I mean Eddie's my go-to, but you know, you're not really MCM this coming weekend.
No,
you've got real life stuff. How dare you?
I know, right?
So I've been like looking at other photographers because I want to get images of the cosplays I've been working really hard on, and I look and it's like, oh yeah, here's an editing package, so you can. And I've had this before. I've paid for photos in a 3-week turnaround that 6 weeks later I've still not had. Or and then they say, oh, you don't have to pay for the editing package, but God knows when you'll get those photos. Not even in like, you'll see them in 3 months or anything. It's very hit and miss. And I think the influx of that is shady, and especially, and this is going to sound so mean, if you're a new photographer, even if you've just got a degree or something, but if you're not working to an immensely like professional magazine standard and you're still trying to get away with charging people for your hobby when cosplayers are also like paying for their hobby, like you're getting free models, but as a very, and I'm seeing that sound horrible, some very amateur photographers trying to charge for this, but you want free models, like make it make sense. It just, the whole thing recently has been really like giving me bad vibes off of certain people, and also it's an insult to those who, like you and Gallagher Photos and Fran, who have been doing this for years and years and are well known and well established in the industry, who don't pull that shit. You guys set up for, there's some of you will do like, here's my Ko-fi afterwards, here's for a donation, and that's completely fine. But if you're like, yeah guys, do a 20-minute half hour, like take half an hour out of your day to work with me, you'll get one image and the rest you got to pay for. Fuck off.
I know, it's just, I know, basically the way I do it, just to confirm,
it's dirty loopholes, I'm sorry.
I know, but the way I do it is basically, the way I see it is like, here are your photos, you have them, here's my donation link, and I will never send that donation link before you got your photo. You always get after your photo, same time or after your photo, because in my head is, I don't want you to feel like I'm holding your photos hostage. Until you give me something in return, and like, that shouldn't be it. I've had your time, you had my time. I gained a model, you gained a photographer. I didn't have to pay for that costume, you did. Why? What? There's an equivalent exchange here. So
that's the thing. Is what there was like, oh, do you not know how long it takes to edit, and how much all my equipment cost me? And I'm like, do you want to know how much my costumes cost? Not just in materials, but if I charged for my hourly work rate per hour on these costumes, because I can guarantee it would actually level out.
Oh yeah,
at least
exactly. This is why you should do TFP shoots, add Comic Con. This is why. Anyway, let's not go down that road because I can go on a real rant about that. I'll just say earlier I was trying to mention that photographer who's doing a competition. I think they stopped doing that now. So.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, I recently went on their Instagram and but I don't know if they're DMing them afterwards.
I know, I think for May, I know a couple of friends of mine shared that and then said afterwards they got DMs from the guy trying to get them to pay. So it's fucking shady. It's just a marketing tactic.
I know. Anyway, but I just think that I've heard people why they do it, why, because some people don't get their photos back, and the only way to get their photos back is to pay them. And I'm like, all right, I mean, I can't argue.
And I've definitely fallen into that trap, but
Exactly.
personally for MCM, like, no.
But yeah,
it's a hard no from me now. There's definitely photographers I work with who I like their style, and if they do the because a lot of them will send me like a sheet of all the images, go, which ones do you want me to edit? And because they'll go through, do the initial thinning out, they'll pick out photos they are happy to edit. I'll go through and they'll say, okay, 5 are free and any additional is X per image. And then it is my choice whether I go for just to pick 5 and get it all free, or if I then choose, and also I love these ones and these ones and these ones, and I'm happy to pay you. I think that's kind of a fairer, less shady way of doing it.
Yeah, and everyone's got their own threshold, their own limits about when it comes to money, where they want to pay or not to pay. So, but yeah, I do think definitely charging for time, because I always think, like I just said, I have your time, you have my time. Why should you pay me?
Because that's the thing. It's like an equal exchange. Like you're getting half an hour with a model.
Yeah,
they're getting half an hour with a photographer.
Yeah. But there will be a time where a model will charge for their time, and then the photographer will go up in their arms and go, "Oh my god, why is this model charging?" Wait a minute.
Could you imagine if cosplayers tried to charge?
I think I've actually
take their photos at MCM.
I know. I feel like I've heard a story. Someone's tried that. But can you imagine us photographers being such high horses where they want us to pay for them now? I said, you're charging for your photography service. What's the difference? Dumb. Anyway, yeah, I just think it's so dumb as a red. That red flag's so dumb. Yeah, but look, location shoots different, but Comic-Con definitely. And the amount of times I've had to mention to people when they say, "Oh, how much do you charge?" once they've booked with me, I said I don't charge, nor should anyone else, and I try to tell them how and what. Anyway,
that's the thing. I talk about it a lot because I've had a lot of new cosplayers following me who go, "Oh, I didn't realize they're not meant to charge."
Yeah.
Or to be fair, even. There was a photographer I was talking to who was moving over here from America, and she was talking about how her shoots at MCM this time around would be free because she's not allowed to work yet on her visa. And I had to gently break it to her that at UK conventions you can't charge.
Yeah.
And I did explain to her how other people do it and said look, you can get people to do editing packages, or you can do X amount free. If you want more, they're paid. I was like, but as a base level, you can't. And she was very shocked because the culture is so different in America.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think, to be fair, I mean, in America, they are told not to charge either, but they just don't regulate it as well as we do. So, yeah, or they haven't found any craftier way to do it sneakily. They just literally, it's all in the... Anyway, I've mentioned this many times, just head back to one of the other podcasts about charging at a Comic-Con. But yeah, we did a full podcast on that. I don't know were you on that one?
I cannot remember.
No, that's all right. Don't worry.
I feel like I beat this dead horse so often. People have heard me complain about it a lot.
No, absolutely. Can I do one of my red flags?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Be free.
Be free. Be free. I think during a shoot, I'm not saying this is a red flag, but something to be wary of. It's the chemistry that you have with people. I think if you don't have a good rapport with the person you're working with, if it's all one-sided, that you're doing all the ideas, you're doing all the heavy lifting, things like that might be something that you might put you off next time. Or if they're really dominating, really want this and really want that, they're not really buying into your vision, your style of photography. Again, I'd probably carry on with that shoot, but I would have a little notch in my head that goes, probably won't work with that person again, because you got to be comfortable with how you do things. It's not we said earlier about equivalent exchange. You've got to be happy with your time, with your work, and things like that. And if they have an idea,
it's equivalent exchange, and also like we've said before, matching up your styles. Because I've heard horror stories of cosplayers telling photographers oh, you need to do it like this and like this and like this, and it's like, well, that's not their style.
Yeah.
At all. Why did you choose to work with them? Why are you trying to bully them into doing what you want to do?
And then and even after post shooting, if they say things, I want this edited and I just need this, my body shape to be changed.
Can you do this and smudge this? And it's like, I can't work miracles.
Exactly. And I mean, I could, but at the same time, that's not my style and things like that.
Your style is not heavily
Yeah,
photoshopping the fuck out of
you know,
people.
exactly. And like they should see that from looking through my portfolio and things
Yeah.
like that. Might have to start saying that actually. Just look for my portfolio. If you like my style, please then book me. Don't think you get what you get. You're not, I can't work miracles or, learn a new technique, just for you, unless you really want to pay for it. So yeah, no, I do think
The
chemistry.
second you bring out the magical word of like, unless you want to pay for it, they will all
Oh, they will run.
vanish.
Yeah. I probably have said that a few times to scare them, and it's worked. But yeah, I just generally, like I said, the chemistry thing, I think is high up on my list because I think when you can vibe with someone quite well, the day or the time that I work with that said person just moves so quickly, and you can get a lot done, and you can share ideas and things like that. If it's just
Yeah.
like I said, if it's just one-sided heavy lifting, yeah, you do think so. This is
It's also
tough.
it's one thing for a cosplayer to be like really nervous or
Yeah,
anxious about the shoot and need like a little bit of nudging. But if they're just giving you nothing to work with, then you can only do so much.
yeah, and look, I know you can't help with being nervous or what's the word? Yeah, nervous and all that.
Yeah.
But at the same token, it's I can only do so much, like coax you out a little bit of your shell, and if I can't get something out of you, and it's hard work for me, remember, you done the hard work getting to Comic Con. I'm doing the hard work at Comic Con and afterwards, but you've got to help me as well.
Yeah, it's got to be balanced out.
Yeah. So not quite a red flag, but something to to note off.
Like an amber flag.
Amber flag. Yeah, and I mean, is what I said fair?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, because it is one thing being like, oh, really nervous or anxious to shoot, but
Yeah.
if your like energies so wanky, if your energies aren't aligned, but if you're really not just like on the same page about what you want out of the shoot and how you want it to carry about, then like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's a case of like, okay, thank you, but maybe not work with them next time. Have you kind of done that before? If you've had like people you've not particularly enjoyed working with, and then they've booked you for MCM again, have you kind of gone, oh, sorry, that slot's gone?
No, I wouldn't do that. He says professionally, saying on our podcast on this episode.
He says on paper.
On
Also,
paper.
I think you're within your right to kind of go, yeah, that's sorry, we don't vibe.
No, exactly. No, I was going to say quickly whilst I remember. I was going to say, if you are nervous, tell the photographer that.
Yeah, and also like bring a friend with you. Have
God,
someone there that you're really comfortable around, and they can always like help you like break the ice and get get the ball moving. Go, oh, what about this? Like, it's really helpful to kind of have that extra person there as like a reassuring presence.
Absolutely, and your question about like booking me again. I think I've been lucky that they've not worked with me again, because I think I might have given off the air of like, oh, we're not vibing here. And I'm trying to think if someone has booked with. I've gone, ugh, and it hasn't happened that often, so I can't think what I did to like politely go, nope.
You're like, thanks, but no thank you.
No thanks. So very hard for me to say what to do if someone does rebook you. They thought they had a good time. They want your tie. Look, but maybe if they thought they had a good time, give it another go, and still do the work, because you still got to act professional. You've got to act professional. I think that's my next one. If you don't take that one, but oh no, that's for photography. You should do that one next. I think, not to put words in your mouth, but no, you should still act professional, regardless if you like the person or not. Because look, there's many situations in both real life, work life, where you'll be given something to do you don't like, or work with people you don't like, but you still got to do it.
You still got to just do it.
You still got to do it, and yeah, really, I think that's probably what I end up doing. So yeah. Anyway, I'll give you another red flag for you to throw out there.
My next one is photographers with big backlogs. Because obviously,
man, I'll get through it. I'll get through it when I get through it. All right.
Yeah, like, oh, don't worry, guys. Like, I'm backlogged actually from like 18 months ago, but yeah, still shoot with me. Because I'm just like, I appreciate it's free. It is free. You're not charging. You're not paying for this. So it is in the photographer's free time, and they're doing a lot of hard work. But I do want to see those images, and ideally within the same year of the photo shoot, unless we're literally shooting in Christmas.
Wait, you want to see photos in a reasonable time frame? How unreasonable of you! Jesus, girl. Jeez.
I know, but so if I'm just seeing, oh yeah, come shoot with me, but bear in mind I've got a massive backlog. I won't bother even if I do like their style, because there's cosplayers I follow who are uploading shit from like, I don't know, MegaCon Birmingham that was back at the start of this year, and they're just uploading it now in October, and I'm kind of like, it's a no from me. Like, nothing funny if you are burnt out. If you're saying, if you're like, sorry, I've been so late with this, I'm really burnt out. Don't take on more photo shoots to do.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you're still burnt out on a shoot you did in March and it's now October, don't take on more shoots in the October, because then when the fuck will you get those edited? You're just giving yourself more work, and you're just going to burn out quicker.
Yeah, and sorry, I was only giggling because I feel like I don't know if you're using.
you probably know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say. I don't know if you're using real example, just picking out examples. I'm going.
Just picking an example I've seen on Facebook off of my hat. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. What was I going to say? The thing is, to defend the photographers union a little bit, I can understand why photographers take on more when they should, even though I've said don't.
Probably social pressure.
It's not social pressure, it's FOMO. Absolute FOMO.
Yeah.
I think if you're there, you don't want to be seen to be not doing work. You don't want to miss out on potentially getting a good idea onto a photo, and you don't want someone else to have that accolade first. But
that's the thing. It's all very well me saying like, oh, you could just go to the event and not shoot it and just hang out with your friends. But there's probably an element of like, oh, but I always did. It's like I would struggle to go to cons and not cosplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what I do. Like if I'm going there not in costume, I feel really like naked and uncomfortable. Like I'm just there like, oh, this is one besties. Like
yeah. So no, I get it, but I totally agree with you. There's. I'm going to say this very critically, but I think you can work out who.
Yeah.
But there is one photographer I see every so often that boasts about their backlog, and I'm like going,
yeah, I've seen that.
Why?
I would absolutely never work with them. Sorry, bestie.
But that's essentially saying, as a chef, if I'm a chef and I'm saying, oh, by the way, I give you food poisoning, but it looks good, come and eat it. Why would you
Or it's like, yeah, come into my restaurant, but the wait time for food. Oh, you want lunch? Yeah, that'll be in like 5 hours.
Something like that, yeah. Yours is probably a better analogy than me giving out food poisoning.
Yeah, maybe don't do that.
No. But what was I going to say? No, but yeah, it's just, I just think, why is that a flex? Why is that such a flex? And it really isn't a flex. And like,
hey guys, look how bad I am at managing my time.
Yeah, that's.
Do you want to be part of that?
Yeah,
hit me up.
And don't get me wrong, I understand that for a lot of us, this is a hobby. It's not a professional job, and none of us, as you said, none of us are getting paid for it. That fair dues. I wouldn't expect photos to be done within a week, 2 week, 3 week turnaround. Nor do I expect photos to then be released 18 months later, 12 months later. I mean, 12 months for me is really pushing it.
I think I'm trying to think what the longest is I've waited. I mean, apart from ones I've never had back, which I think has happened twice.
Yeah, I mean, the minimum requirements is: did you get your photo back at all?
I think the longest one was the shoot was like May, and I got the photos back in like December to January. I think that was like the longest wait.
Yeah.
But then I've worked with that photographer again and got them back quicker. So.
All right.
But stop
trying to critically say it's me. All right.
It's not you, dipshit. Yeah, like one. I remember you. I think you used to flog the fuck out of yourself, but you would shoot MCM like May and have it back to people by June, and I was always like, "Are you okay?"
Oh,
like a month later, I was always just there like, "You good, Eddie?"
To be fair, that's because my technique then was very basic. And over the years, I picked up more and more techniques. I've gone, oh, great, more things I need to do now that I've now learned this technique. Oh, this would have gone on a lot of photos and things like that. So, yeah, that's why
You
it's
just made it harder for yourself by being better at it, is what I'm hearing.
yeah. So yeah, yeah. What for a photographer shouldn't try to get better? God, that'd be something. But yeah, no. Generally, it's yeah. I think anyone that uses the word backlog and uses a flex is a red flag for me. And things like that. I mean, would you still work with someone? They said, oh, look, I do have a backlog. It won't be quick, but I still want to take photos. If you heard it in that genuine way,
I think sure. I would just make sure it wasn't the only photographer I shot with that day,
mm,
because I would want photos of my costume, absolutely.
yeah,
But I wouldn't maybe want to be waiting like 8 months for it.
mm,
Because I'm impatient. I want to see it. You know, a few months is fine, but not if we're pushing nearly a year. You know?
yeah, no, it's absolutely, yeah. So yeah, no, that's just the same. I just think,
Mm.
I think, like I said, the context is if they have been genuine about it, and then they say, look, I want to get through the backlog, but I want to do new photos. If they put in that context, 50-50 for me. But
Yeah, I'd say I'd give him a shot, but I would just
yeah,
in the back of my mind be like, I'll work with you, but you're not going to be the only person. Because there's sometimes, I
yeah,
mean, I used to book myself onto way more shoots, and generally MCM now I'll just like
mm,
work with you and maybe like one or two other people.
yeah,
But I would, there could be times where I'm like, here's my big Saturday MCM costume,
mm,
and I'm happy, and I'm just going to show it with Eddie today, and then I'm done, and I'm free to kind of chill.
yeah,
Because
exactly,
I know I'll get the photos back.
yeah,
But if there was something I'm like, I'm really proud of this, like one of the honors I'm wearing next weekend, I'm really proud of this, I really want photos. If I was approached by someone who's like, hey, like, here's my backlog, you will see them in like 9 months, but I really want to shoot with you, I'd be like, yeah, fine, but I'd also make sure they're not the only person I work with that weekend. Selfishly, also, just from a social media standpoint of like, I want to share these. I've been lucky this year to get creator passes for MCM. So I kind of, not need to, but I personally want to keep, yes, the horrible word, content. I want to keep content rolling in. So, and I'm not one of those people that's like only going to share finished shit. I share my works in progress. I make memes. I do reels. I do tutorials. I do infographics. But like, I don't want the only photos of a costume I've worn that weekend to turn up like nearly a year later. However, if there's some that do turn up a year later, fantastic. I've then got padding for the rest of the year, and I can go, cool, this is keeping me going. But yeah, as horrible as it sounds, like I try not to be a slave to the social media machine. But
that machine is
it is there. It's part of the hobby for me, you know.
Yeah. Can I move on to one of mine? And we might do a quick fire one, depending on time. We are running up.
Sure, I had actually literally just thought of one to add in afterwards.
Okay.
I've forgotten it again. So you keep talking, and I'll try to. Well, I'll try to catch the brain demons.
No, that's fine. Basically, I'll hop onto the photographer train rather than the cosplayer train, and I will talk about professionalism. I think I like to think a lot of them anyway are professionals and all that, but I don't think a lot. No, I've just contradicted myself. There is a level of professionalism, but I think that levelism could be improved a lot more with photographers. Like you said about timing and this and that, you know, booking, communication, things like that, the way you talk to someone on the day. Like, I'm not expecting people to have sheets that shows the poses and all that. But again, it shows that professionalism of saying what work I have done behind the scenes. I'm not just simply turning up with a camera and go, okay, here we go. You know, what's your idea? Well, I've got no idea. You got no idea. It's
like, what the fuck are we doing here?
You know, I came prepared because one year I asked that question and both of us looked at each other. So, you know, I went, right, what do I do to mitigate this issue? Here we go. Here's a sheet and things like that. I can pose, but this is even just replicate what's on this page. And there's loads of pictures of me where I'm posing and yeah, I don't like it.
But I also, the thing is, I like you do that because I like a visual reference, because I can look at the image and go, oh yeah, I can do that. But if it's a cartoon, I'm like, how's a real person going to pose like this? Or you might be coming up with a pose that's like a different interpretation of a reference image and go, you're like, okay, can you pose like this and kind of against this shrub or something? And you kind of do that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's given me an idea, and I'll do the rough pose, and then you can like get me to change it because you can see it through the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that's another red flag. If they don't show you the back of the camera.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fucking hell. Anyway. Yeah, well, I'll put the two together. But yeah, if they don't show you the back of the camera, that's a red flag for me, because you just don't know what's going on. Again, maybe an innocent thing. They may be just like inexperienced, not knowing why the cosplayer should see the back of the camera. But if you can't see that, fucking run a mile. Just say, thank you very much. Please delete. If you're not going to show me, please delete the photos. Thank you very much, and off. Because would you want to be associated if something happened to that photographer, things like that? Anyway.
Also kind of like if it's not a booked shoot and someone's like, oh, can we take photos? If they don't tell me where to find them on social media, like if someone's stopping me in the hall and they're just taking a photo on their phone, like, oh, can I take a photo? Fine. But if you're stopping me and you've got a camera and then you're not telling me where to find that image, but also, like, show me the back of the camera, because I want to know you've taken a photo of me and not like zoomed in on my chest.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Like, I need to know that's not going on a private wank wank. Brother.
But yeah, I just think the amount of times I've heard people say, "Oh, you're so professional," and I'm like, why is that new? Why is that such an odd thing for you to experience? Why are you not getting this with everyone else?
You're just there like, this is the bare minimum.
This is, for me, it's a bare minimum. And I don't know if that's my undiagnosed ADHD kicking in by going, oh, that's weird. But it's like, honestly, I just do not understand how people think not to be professional, they can get away with doing whatever they fucking want. And they, I just got a camera in hand, I've got free range to do everything I want. No, because if you do something bad, if you act unprofessional, that reflects not just you, but the community as a whole. When I first started, the amount of stories I heard about this male photographer, that male photographer, that male photographer, this male, and like going, oh wow, what's the common denominator? Male photographers. So I'm like going out my way to like buck the trend by trying to like go, can I touch you like on the wrist or something like that, and things like that. Like I had another photographer said, oh, I wouldn't even do that. So there's different levels of like how we would respect cosplayers. They wouldn't touch them. I would at least ask. And things like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's I like that's becoming more of a thing to like ask. But I even do that now. If like, for example, I was in the masquerade lineup queue for like MCM, and the cosplayer in front of me had a part of their costume had kind of fallen off. They had like a chain going across the collar on their shirt, and the back had come off the pin, and the chain was hanging down, and the back of the pin had like fallen kind of into their waistcoat.
Yeah.
And they had gloves on, so they couldn't do it themselves. And I was like, do you want me to help you? And they were like, oh my God, yes, please. And I said, okay. And I narrated what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm just going to pop my hand in here. I can see the back of your pin in your waistcoat. I'm just going to grab that. Okay, I'm just going to grab the pin and I'm going to pop it back through the collar for you. So so this total stranger knew what I was doing where my hands were going, essentially. Because people can be shady with it, you know.
Yeah,
people will take advantage. It's what we've learned.
Like, there have been times where like I would like stare into the distance and I might see more of a side boob than I should see.
Yeah,
and I'm like to go, oh, and then realize, shit, I'm a male photographer. I need to find a female person to talk to that person to tell to that person, so it doesn't look like I was just gawking at them.
That's the thing. If you said to me like, because there's been times I've twirled for a photo and you can straight up see like the shorts I've got on underneath, or back before I wore shorts underneath, I'd wear an extra pair of pants over my tights.
Yeah,
you'd be like, hey, like I can see that, and I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, cheers, because you're my friend. With if like a random bloke came up to me and was like, yeah, by the way, I can see your pants, I'd be like, okay, right.
But that's the importance of looking at the back of the camera, so you can go through it and go, oh no, I can see the back of your camera. No, see back of your camera. I can see the back. I can see your back door. And I say, I'm going to delete.
Or like,
these.
oh, your shorts are showing in that. You can,
exactly.
I can see that.
I'll tell you, there was one shoot I did with someone, Lele Cosplay, and I said, oh, let's do a shoot, and and they were sat down. I was fairly low down, and they're wearing a skirt, and I can't remember if it was on the day or post, but I could see up the skirt. and I do remember at least messaging them saying, look, I think I could look at your skirt. Are you okay with that? She went, oh, that's fine. But I still went out my way to darken the area so it just looks like,
Yeah,
you know,
it just
regardless.
looks like shadow.
Yeah, at least that way it didn't look any nefarious issues or things like that.
Yeah,
so.
you're not out here then like his food and cosplay and his upskirt shots.
Yeah, food and cosplays, OnlyFans, you know, that type of thing.
Food and cosplay and panties.
Things like that. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just I think professionalism for me is just it's so up there, and I just, like I said, I just don't understand. Yeah. Anyway, I've got one more cosplayer.
Cool. I literally just remembered the other one,
you
but
go.
we can do that as almost a quick fire.
Yeah, quick fire list.
This is like really just like a personal kind of ick thing.
Yeah.
Massive watermarks on the images. if I look at the photo you've taken of a cosplayer and your watermark is like enormous, like I quite like either partially, if they're going to be big, at least make them partially transparent. But like if they're huge and they're taking up like a massive chunk of the photo and they're right near the cosplayers' faces, your watermark can actually put me off shooting with you. And I've spoken to other cosplayers who've said the same thing. They're like, oh yeah, I like them, but oh my god, have you seen the size of the photographer's watermark on that image? Because holy fuck, it's right in the way.
I know this when this gets uploaded to YouTube. I know I'm going to get demonetized, but that's such a big dick energy. There is like haha, I have a big dick. Look at my
my massive watermark.
Yeah.
Or even if it's like a poorly designed one, I'm just like. But yeah, have your watermark on the image by all means, but have it kind of unobtrusive, or like yours is there. It's very distinct. Like we know that's food and cosplay.
Yeah.
But it's not like bam in the middle of the image, like taking over it. Because I've seen some photographers where I'm just like, fuck off, am I shooting with you? I don't want that taking up most of the photo I'm going to get back.
No, absolutely. No, I know you. When I first started the being in the community and looked, I inevitably end up looking at other people's photography work. One thing I do think that I say, fuck me, that logo is massive. That watermark is huge. It's like, where am I looking at the watermark or the photo? It's like, yeah.
Yeah. If the first thing I see when I look at your photo if a cosplayer is your watermark, then that's a no from me, dog.
That's a no from you. Oh man, yeah, that's a good quick one. I don't know if mine was going to be quick, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to throw this grenade and see how it goes. Don't edit photos. Do not edit photos. Just don't. Okay, even if it's just but I want everything to be the same shade as my other photos. Then don't.
No.
You know.
No.
Oh, but I just
talk to the photographer, because I could say, hey, like I like this, but could you maybe do this? And you'd either be like, oh yeah, that's fine, or sorry, that's not my style.
Yeah, it's like there's very rare occasion I've just got, edit yourself, just send me a copy back, you know, and things like that.
I know every so often to wind you up, I'll put the photo on, I'll like open Instagram, upload the photo, upload it, and then I'll just like crank on the weirdest fucking filters and like fuck around with the saturation. Then I screenshot and send it to Eddie, and I'm just like, hey Ed, I'm gonna post this, is this okay? And you're just there like, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, honestly, my anger level just shoots so quickly. Even though I know it's a joke, it jumps so quickly. But
you just know it's me being a wind up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know I'm not actually gonna do that.
And like,
maybe I should for like April Fool's Day one year.
Fuck off, don't.
I think you would actually.
I would lose it, because if I find
you would levitate over from the other side of London, come to my front door, and just punch me in the face.
What was it? I actually made this bigger than you actually said. If you made everyone take one of my pictures and edit it and post it on that same day,
that's a good idea.
No, don't. Because
I don't think I could actually do that to you, because I think you would have a mental breakdown.
I would have a mental breakdown. I really would. I would cry in the corner. I really would.
I'll be like, oh my god, like, guys, you should shoot with Food and Cosplay. Here's some of his best work, and it's just like oversaturated to shit.
No, but it's like I said at the beginning of the podcast, you're looking at someone's style, and if you don't like their style, don't work with that person. Don't work with that person thinking you can change the photo yourself. That should never be your goal. You know, you should look at that. If you want to go, I like your style to a certain point, but I want to help you get to the next stage by saying, can you do this? It's up to the photographer to go, I can do that. And if they say, I can't, I don't want to learn, so be it, in your head, okay, I can't.
If they're just like, oh, sorry, that's not really my thing, then like, fine.
Yeah. But if you go your way without telling them, even you add the silly, cartoony borders around any like grid photo type of thing, that's still a no for me still. Because
that's the thing, because I just use, I think the app's called like Square Fit, and I can either put a white border or like the slightly blurred border that's like a extension of the photo, and those are my go-tos.
Yeah, but like you're breaking the vision of how I wanted that photo to look and things like that, and
even just uploading it and like, because some things might not fit like Instagram or whatever, and like accidentally cropping it or like going, oh, okay, this is how to get it to fit to Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's like,
and just having it like a quarter of the photo, or zoomed in like maybe 3/4 body when you'd done like almost a full body. It's a bit like, well, that's not what the photo was.
And that's why now in my like disclaimer when I send back the photos, because I got to sign something to say, do you understand when you get these photos how you should treat my photos? I do now say do a side by side. So if you do want it cropped in, fine by me, but
but always put
a swipe full version of it. So, but anyway, but that's for me. I'm not saying all photographers are like that, but what I'm trying to say is that just don't edit my photos. There's something you didn't like at the time, even if it's 6 months later. You're like, oh, actually, I've spotted something. Speak to your photographer. Literally speak to them and just ask them, can you do that? And if they say no, don't upload it. Don't use it.
Also, I think don't take your insecurities out on a photographer. It's all very well if like they're editing. I've known someone who took like a really saturated. They took a photo of my friend. I think it was just like a whole shot, and they really cranked up the saturation on it. And she's got like a skin condition, and it really made that look bad. And instead of them sending the photo to her and going, hey, I took this photo of you, here it is, and giving them the chance to say, hey, like, please don't publish that, or like, I really don't like the way you've done that, they just published it and tagged her in it, and she was so upset. That's completely fine. But if you've got like some other insecurity going on, that like a photographer sent you the image back and you're like, oh, I hate how I look in that.
Yeah.
That's not actually necessarily the fault of the photographer and the editing job. That's on you.
Yeah,
like there's a really like fine line in there.
Oh, definitely. And yet, like, yeah, it's just like I said right at the beginning, communication. Just communicate.
Communication.
Just communicate. Communicate.
Just talk to each other like adults.
Why did I say communicate? Sounded so weird in my head. But yeah, do talk. Do communicate with your cosplayer, photographer, things like that. But but like, oh, don't like they'll know. I mean,
they'll know. They can tell.
I can tell.
You've probably been staring at that image for so long to edit it
Exactly.
anyway, that you know where it's off.
I stare at like I think I know my style, even though I can't pinpoint what the style is. But sometimes I do look at it and go, did I do that? And I check back the original photo and go, oh, actually, no, it was my eyes, or the screen's a little different on a phone to a computer, so therefore I can see now why it looks a little different. But when I see it like a different colour shift and change, I went, things like that. Oh, actually, can I just do one more red flag?
Go on then.
Very, very quick.
Just as a treat.
If you look through a cosplayer's profile and they don't seem to be tagging photographer, don't.
Red flag.
Yeah, red flag. Yeah, don't.
Red flag.
Yeah, just don't. I don't want that on my conscience, things like that. Thing is, it's not something I go out of my way to like check, but I'm just want to say that if you don't tag your photographer or like whoever made your costume, if you bought a wig or things like that, no.
Because I even said, because like I've commissioned a few wigs this year from the same person, and I've said to them like, look, I've got these. If I've got a quiet moment, I'll sit and I'll actually queue up posts to go onto my Instagram. So I'll be like, photo by Food and Cosplay, wig by my friend who's been doing it.
Yeah,
and I kind of say to them, hey, I've got all these images coming up. Do you mind that you're about to get tagged in all of these? Like, am I going to fuck up your notifications? And they're generally like, no, like, please tag me in this. It's my work. And I've even had that same friend who has done wigs for people have cosplayers try to then pass off her wigs as their own.
Yeah.
And not tag them and then block her. So that's shady as fuck.
Yeah.
Or I've even known people who've like made a costume for somebody as part of a commission and then not been tagged in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, even if you've kind of do it once as an accident, but do it multiple times is
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're trying to fool people.
100%. And like, again, if someone's forgotten to tag you, just send them a quick message out. Oh, I see you haven't tagged me. Just
Yeah.
would you mind? I recently discovered that there was like I discovered it for a feed, and I saw it like weeks ago. I mean, about 6 months ago. They put upload photo, didn't tag me. So all they were, oh yeah, that's my photo. Thank you for sharing. Send. See what happens.
Yeah.
I
Because
think-
even when I send off like images to be maybe published on a different page or in a publication, I will always say, "Hey, this is the photographer. Can you credit them, please?" And if they don't, I'll always email to try and fix it. And if they ignore that, then I will just comment on the post to go, "Oh my god, thanks so much for like featuring me. The photographer is so and so." So I always kind of go out and I'll probably also communicate to the photographer like, "Hey, I'm really sorry it's ended up on this page. I tried to get them to credit you and they haven't." And I will generally even just send like a screenshot of my messages with them, and be like, "Look, I am trying."
Yeah.
Because I'm nothing if not like a chronic over-explainer as well. So I really want the talks to know that I'm not taking the piss if that happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's just a quick one.
Yeah, no, that's completely valid.
Do you want to do a very quick one, or have you done all the making?
I'm just gonna say, if they try to isolate you from people at the convention, so if they're like, "Oh yeah, let's go over here and take a photo," "Oh no, don't worry, they don't have to come too. You can leave them there." Like I'll obviously, there's photographers I know and trust who I'll go off on my own with. Like I'll generally park my friends off and be like, "Right, I'm shooting with Eddie. I'm going over there. That's fine." But if they're like, "Oh no, like leave your friends," or "Oh no, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, your partner doesn't have to come with us," that's a red flag for me. Especially if they're like, "Oh, let's go to this secluded area where there's not many people," or "Oh, let's shoot this in a hotel room or something." Red flag, red flag, red flag. Don't be isolated with a stranger.
Absolutely. If you had no prior agreement or communication, or just say what's happening and things like that, you don't even know if you had to report this person, how to report this person, walk away.
Yeah. Do your friends know where you are?
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
That's a big one for me. I keep thinking I might do a post on like just convention safety in general. Meeting up with strangers and like internet friends, and like a big one is, do people know where you are?
Yeah, and you might think, oh, that's a silly thing. That won't happen to me.
No, it can. It will.
Really can.
Like,
yeah, I know it sounds so silly, but yeah, it's just,
or even like over dramatic. And I know like there's probably quite a few youngsters that will go, "Oh no, you're being so overly cautious. You're being like really dramatic about it. That's not going to happen." No, trust me, we've been in this scene long enough to know what can unfortunately happen in this.
And a photographer should not take it personally if someone goes, "Oh, can I bring someone?" or "No, I don't feel comfortable."
If the reaction is like, if you say to them like, "No, I like rather my friend come with me," if their reaction is to be like, "Oh, what, do you not trust me?" From that reaction, you don't trust them.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, even if they make it in a joking way.
Yeah.
They should be like, "Oh shit, of course, I forgot to give them reassurances." Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. You go, you do that. Yeah. So yeah, I just
also like, if you're like I think for a red flag is like, photographers don't check that who they're shooting with is like not even like a legal adult, maybe like, I don't know, over 16, over 18, depending on the comfort. But if the photographer is like just shooting minors willy-nilly, like, you should kind of know who you're shooting and like the age of them.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, you don't necessarily do like a consent form or whatever. But if you look at a photographer and it's like, "Wow, those are some young looking models. Oh, and you're a bloke in your like fucking 30s and 40s." It's like,
But I will say, I have to say this because this has happened to me, because I shot with someone thinking they looked young but didn't look under 18. So when I shot with them, and then pandemic, I met them up 2 years later, they go, "Oh yeah, I'm 18 now." I'm like, wait.
Help.
Hey, I'm doing the math here. Julia Roberts math thing come up in the sky. Went, "Oh no, I shot you when you were 16. No!" And like, all right, that's not like a terrible age to like taking photos of someone, but still in the eyes of the law, you think, "Oh God, no." So I was about to say, if you're under 18 and you're about to get your photos taken, please tell the photographer, because I think
or even when you're looking to book in with them.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, because I always put my age on my profiles because I am an adult, and I appreciate I also look a bit younger than being in my mid-30s.
No,
Like
you
some people mistake me.
act younger. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm immature as fuck. So some people can like mistake me for, I don't know, mid-20s, early 20s sometimes if they're really in need of going to Specsavers. But I don't want to say like teenagers following me or trying to talk to me at events thinking I'm like closer to their age. In reality, I'm like old enough to be like your fucking mum or something. Like I'm always very cautious of that at events as I've gotten older, as I think kind of people should be. Like there was one, it was someone I was in a masquerade with, and they were in the juniors section at the front, and they like chatted to me a bit and were like, "Oh my god, love your costume," da, da, da. And I'm like, "Yeah, you look cool, blah blah." And then they followed me on social media afterwards, and I realised they were literally like 13, 14, and I was like, "Oh nope," like gonna be very careful talking to you. Because it's like, no, I don't have bad intentions. But likewise, if I had a kid and they were like, I was like, "Oh, who are you talking to, honey?" "Oh, yeah, this like cosplayer I know that I met at a con and they're in their 30s." And you're literally like 13. I'd be like, "Yeah, you're going to jail, bitch." Like,
exactly.
Why are you talking to children?
I'm taking you down. But yeah, no, like I said, it's just something that's happened to me, and like I said, I was fortunate nothing happened. Like nothing was going to happen, but still, I just felt something could have happened. And I can.
It's a bit of that ick of like, oh no,
exactly. So, and I have subsequently actually shop with them quite often. So so it turned out quite well. Things like that. Yeah. Shall we bring it to a close here?
Yeah, let's break it down.
Break it down.
Break it down now. Yeah.
So some of the red flags I mentioned was about communication, professionalism, chemistry, acting professional. I've said that. Editing, things like that. What was some of your red flags?
Lack of portfolio diversity, big backlogs, being sneaky about costs, trying to take you away from, like, remove you from your friends, remove you from your friends and family, and like also just my personal ick of massive watermarks.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
it's not a red flag.
No, but it's definitely an ick. Yeah, absolutely, definitely an ick. Yeah. Anyway, right, okay, cool. Right, thanks for that. Well, we'll bring that to close. Cheers, Beth, for your red flags. I hope you exercise your demons and I don't know what.
Seek Jesus. I don't know.
I mean, no. To be fair, look, a lot of the people in the community are fine. They're all okay.
Oh yeah, there's so many. Like, as much as we love bitching and complaining, there's lots of really lovely people in this hobby, and there's really lots of really cool photographers and cosplayers you can work with. It is just worth being aware of those red flags so you're not caught out.
Absolutely, 100%. Cool. Anyway, right. So, links. Let's do links. Bethan, where can they find you on the social medias?
I literally every platform I am What's Cosplay, shortened from like What's Name's Cosplay. I'm most active on Instagram. I do try to use my Facebook page. TikTok is there, but I don't really use it. Twitter is mostly me posting about Taylor Swift or whatever social issue is on my mind that week. So pick your potato. If you're listening to this before MCM October 2024, I'm hosting the Studio Ghibli meet on the Friday. So if you are wearing your Studio Ghibli cosplay, come along, hang out. We're going to make new friends, take some photos, and just generally chill and be big nerds for an hour or so. That's why you're going to harass me.
So this podcast is going to go out after the MCM London. No, I'm joking.
God fucking damn it.
No.
Your minions need to work harder.
I know. Sorry, yeah. My legions of minions who are of none. You know, anyway.
of all the people working for you.
Yeah, of none. Even my shadow doesn't work for me. Oh God, even my brain doesn't work with me. Hey, anyway,
that's a mood.
That's such a mood, it really is. Anyway. What was I going to say? So, if people need to find me on the social medias, if you go to foodandcosplay.org/links, that's where you'll find all my social media links, such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I don't know what put this accent on. I just realised.
Have you been to see Cabaret? Like, welcome,
I do want to see that, actually.
There's been so, because they have cast change pretty regularly.
Oh, do they?
And there's been quite a few I think it's quite demanding roles for the main two characters.
Mm.
So I think they change them out fairly frequently, it feels. And there's been so many that I've wanted to see, but I've just not gotten around to it. So I think it's also quite expensive. I also want to see Hades Town. That's on the list as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I would enjoy that or not. But anyway, that's for another day. What I was going to say was I've done my links. If you go to foodandcosplay.org, that's you'll find daily cosplay photos, podcasts, articles, things like that. I keep saying we'll do an article. I clearly haven't got the time anymore. I feel like this is the slow demise on my website, but we'll see. If you go to foodandcosplay.org/podcast, you'll find previous podcasts I've recorded with Bethan and other guests with other subjects. A lot of it, some of it's like MCM related, photography related. Cosplay.
I want to say I think the last one I did with you was like probably before May MCM, because I remember I was hemming a skirt at that point. I think, was it like a Room 101 or something?
Possibly. The FNC Room 101, not the BBC one, yes. No, not the BBC abandoned show, which now isn't a radio show, but yeah.
Other Room 101s are available.
100%. What I was going to say next? And if patreon.com, I might do a solo podcast section that goes tag onto this. I don't know. We'll see.
It's not just you talking to yourself.
I just love hearing myself. I just love talking. Oh dear.
Well, I don't want to say anything.
No, that's fine. Anyway, no, it's more that Beth has got things to do, so I will let her off and things like that. Anyway, we've been talking for just about an hour and a half, so we should wrap this up. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye, and they're going to say goodbye too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.